Hello, critter protectors. Mr. Jim here, and welcome to Kids Animal Stories, a place where there's always a mystery and adventure around every single corner. If you love critters of all shapes and sizes, I need you on our Critter Protector team. Join our adventure as we learn about critters from around the world and in our backyards. Well, my friends, are you ready for today's adventure? Me too, let's go! On the last episode, Andre and Ricardo, the rhinoceros iguanas, had just spent an entire day adventuring to the Great Hispaniolan Dry Forest. These best friends were set out on a quest for something new and exciting, and Andre, the leader, who is so excited to have just turned 2 and is now an adult, remember? He was very excited to experience a brand new place as a full-grown rhinoceros iguana. Ricardo, on the other hand, was getting a little nervous. They left their safe, rocky burrows, their favorite basking rocks, and the other rhinoceros iguanas, and basically everything they were used to. Ricardo was a little sad to leave all that stuff behind. It was very familiar. It was home. Well, in the morning, the friends opened their eyes. Ricardo sighed. Sure does feel good to be alive out here. I was a little worried.
Ricardo, don't be such a doubter. Of course we're alive.
Well, Andre, you never know. After all, we slept here under this bush without, a proper burrow. I'm just glad we didn't come across any predators.
Okay, I'm glad to. But today, we will make it to the forest. And remember, it will all be worth it,
Andre said. As they both set off towards the coast, they tried to keep a steady pace. They conserved their energy and didn't really talk to each other too much for the better half of the day. Occasionally, one of them would sneeze. Wait, sneeze? I didn't know lizards sneeze. Did you know that? Oh yeah, these iguanas sneeze as their way of getting extra salt out of their bodies. What? Salt? Oh yeah, they have these special holes called glands in their nose that help the extra salt leave their bodies. If you've ever heard a rhinoceros iguana sneeze, don't be scared. It's perfectly normal. It's one of their critter skills. Wow. They spray salt out of their noses? Pretty hilarious. Did you know that? As late afternoon started to cast shadows on the open land, Andre shouted,
Ricardo! That's it! Do you see that tree line up ahead?
Ricardo looked up and peered as far as he could. He squinted his eyes and he could just make out the lines in the distance and felt very relieved this forest was actually real and not just an imaginary place. Oh, thank goodness, Ricardo whispered to himself.
Come on, we can make it by nightfall if we hurry,
Andre said, and they started walking a little faster. Another 2 hours went by and the trees looked like actual trees in front of them. They were getting very close. These two rhinoceros iguanas were feeling very happy, and since they were no longer worried about more days and days of travel, they started talking and dreaming of everything they do in this forest. The first thing I'm going to do when we arrive is find a proper place to sleep, said Ricardo.
I'm going to try and find some new foods. I love new foods.
Andre was right. He really did like trying new foods. Well, they were just about to make a sprint when something unthinkable happened. Right in front of them, about 100 yards away, sat a very large, very mean-looking mongoose. Okay, hold on, time out. Mongooses are very large, beaver-looking critters. Do you know what a mongoose looks like? Yeah, and they're one of the rhinoceros iguana's worst predators.
Ricardo, stop. Don't move.
Ricardo whispered in a shout-like tone. What is it? What is it? Ricardo asked as he stood still like a statue.
Right in front of us. Look, it's a mongoose.
Oh, Andre, this is not good. What are we gonna do? Ricardo was now getting panicked.
Hold on. Let me think.
The mongoose had stopped walking and lifted up his head high in the air like he was smelling the wind. As soon as he took a few sniffs, his eyes turned and he looked right at them. The mongoose was now approaching them and he definitely wasn't coming to say hello.
We need to act fast, Ricardo. Turn around. Go on. Start swatting your tail.
Ricardo listened and both of them started swinging their very large, strong tails in the direction that the mongoose was coming from. As soon as the mongoose was reachable, Andre stepped forward and with all of his strength, swat! Swung his tail right at the mongoose's face, slap, and hit him right in the nose.
Ouch! What was that for? Ow, my nose! I can't even. Oh, my nose!
Before they even had a chance to turn around, the mongoose was running away. It was running even faster than when it came towards them.
Wow, I guess that'll do it,
Andre said. Whoa, that was close. Nice shot, Andre. Ricardo caught his breath.
Thanks. Now, well, let's go get to those trees,
Andre said. It was only 5 minutes later that they were standing at the edge of the largest, most magnificent tree line they'd ever dreamed of seeing. This forest stretched further than they could see, and the sounds and smells coming from it were magnificent.
Ricardo, we made it! It's real! We did it! We did it! And this place is cooler than we could ever thought or dreamed.
Andre, thank you for pushing me along. You were right. This was totally worth it. Andre and Ricardo, the rhinoceros iguanas, ventured into this brand new habitat. They were excited for the adventures this amazing forest would bring them, and they were even more excited that they would get to explore together as best friends. And even though this is the end of our story, it is only just the beginning, the amazing adventures that lie ahead for these two rhinoceros iguanas. Hey, great job. You listened all the way to the end. All right, question time. Who remembers, what do they sneeze out of their nose? I know, isn't that so crazy? They sneeze salt, not boogers. Salt, or maybe they're salt boogers. Do we have salt boogers? Are our boogers made of salt? No, our boogers are not made of salt like these rhinoceros iguanas. That's their way of getting rid of the extra salt in their body. And do you remember why these iguanas are called rhinoceros iguanas? Yes, because they have a horn on the top of their head, just like real rhinoceroses. That's so amazing. Well, my critter protectors, I hope you all have a super duper day, and I will see you on our next adventure. Bye!